some celebrity mansions were abandoned, and the stories behind them are so strange they almost feel haunted. In this video, you'll discover 15 incredible homes, each with a fascinating and sometimes chilling history. Let's start with Marilyn Monroe's mansion. Marilyn Monroe's home, located at 12,305 Fifth Helena Drive in Brentwood, Los Angeles, is more than just an old house. It was the final refuge of a Hollywood icon. Built in 1929 in the classic Spanish-Hacienda style, the one-story home spans about 2,900 square feet and sits at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, surrounded by lush gardens, a free-form pool, and even a citrus grove. In February 1962, Marilyn purchased the property for around $77,500. And only 6 months later, in early August 1962, she was found lifeless in her bedroom at age 36. The tragic event turned the mansion into the center of countless stories and emotional memories. Some claim the home once had a hidden listening system, and that certain traces of that era remain. Above the doorway, there's still a Latin inscription that reads, "Cursum perficio," meaning, "I have completed my journey." A phrase that now feels almost prophetic, considering her untimely fate. Today, the property, though renovated and owned by several people since, remains surrounded by an aura of mystery, blending glamour, tragedy, and timeless nostalgia. In 2024, it was officially declared a historic cultural monument by the city of Los Angeles, protecting it as part of Hollywood's legacy. Number 14. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Located in Los Olivos, California, the Neverland Ranch was far more than a home. It was Michael Jackson's private fantasy world, created to preserve the childhood he said he never truly had. Opened in 1988, the 2,700-acre estate featured an amusement park, a private zoo, a 50-seat movie theater, and even its own train station, surrounded by manicured gardens and sculptures that felt straight out of a fairy tale. But behind the magical beauty lies one of Hollywood's saddest stories. After the controversies that surrounded the singer in the 2000s, the property was shut down, the ride stopped, the animals were relocated, and silence replaced the laughter that once filled the air. With monthly maintenance costs exceeding $50,000, the ranch was permanently closed in 2009. The same year Jackson passed away. Years later, Neverland was listed for $100 million, eventually selling in 2020 to billionaire Ronald Burkle for about $22 million. Today, the ranch remains closed to the public, quiet and melancholic. The once vibrant rides are rusted, the train tracks abandoned, and many visitors say the place still feels strangely alive, as if echoes of its past never left. After so many rumors, local parents even stopped bringing their children near the area. Now you're going to discover the story behind Whitney Houston's mansion. In Mendham, New Jersey, stands the grand estate that served for years as the personal sanctuary of Whitney Houston, one of the most powerful voices in music history. Built in 1987, the 13,000-square-foot residence sits on 5 acres of wooded land and reflects the singer's sophistication during her career's golden years. The modern design, with sharp geometric lines and large glass panels, was made specifically for her lifestyle. Inside, Whitney added a private recording studio, a home theater, an indoor pool surrounded by columns, and even a game room filled with 1980s arcade machines. But after her divorce from Bobby Brown and a period of increasing seclusion, the house became a symbol of loneliness. For years, it sat nearly empty, and neighbors described an eerie silence where once there had been laughter and music. In 2022, the estate was listed for around $1.6 million, attracting fans who wanted to own a piece of music history. Though renovated since, the mansion still carries a melancholic aura. A recording room frozen in time, a closed pool, a memory of where the music stopped. But the emotion remained. Fans still search online for photos of that old 80s arcade, a true time capsule of nostalgia. Number 12. Elvis Presley's Graceland. Located in Memphis, Tennessee, Graceland is far more than a mansion. It's a living monument to Elvis Presley, the eternal king of rock and roll. Built in 1939 and purchased by Elvis in 1957 for about $100,000, the neoclassical estate became the ultimate symbol of his fame, his taste, and his humanity. Every room reflects a part of Elvis's personality. The famous Jungle Room, with its green velvet furniture, Hawaiian wood walls, and indoor waterfall, became the backdrop for some of his late career recordings. The music room still holds original instruments and the white piano he played shortly before his passing. Outside, the meditation garden, where Elvis rests alongside his parents and daughter Lisa Marie Presley, draws millions of visitors every year. Graceland is more than a preserved home. It's a living museum that keeps Elvis's spirit alive through tours, exhibitions, and annual celebrations. Decades later, the house still vibrates with the same energy, proof that fame may fade, but legends like Elvis remain eternal. And if you're enjoying these incredible mansion stories, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Top Celebrities for more amazing videos just like this one. Thanks so much for watching. Now, let's move on to number 11, Britney Spears' home. In Kentwood, Louisiana, lies the modest but unforgettable home that marked the beginning of Britney Spears' journey to stardom. Far from the bright lights of Las Vegas or Hollywood, this property feels like a frozen fairy tale, the place where a teenage dreamer began her rise to global fame. Built in Southern style, with wide porches and white columns, the house reflects the warmth and simplicity of small-town life, but hides deep nostalgia between its walls. In the 1990s, this was where Britney recorded her first homemade videos and practiced the dance routines that would later captivate the world. Decades later, the property went up for sale for about $1.2 million, impressing fans with how well its original details were preserved. The pink bedroom, the posters, even the little studio she once used to rehearse. Though fans call it the Louisiana Castle, it's not a real castle, but it represents her transformation from pop princess to a woman who faced both triumph and hardship. Walking through it feels like time stopped. Magazine clippings still on the walls, an old jukebox still humming softly. Today, the home has become a quiet pilgrimage site for admirers who feel both the glow and the sorrow of Britney's story, the rise to the top, and the price that came with it. Jackie Collins' Beverly Hills mansion. High in the sunny hills of Beverly Hills stands the former mansion of the legendary writer Jackie Collins, a true temple of luxury and literature, now wrapped in an air of forgotten glamour. Designed in the 1990s, the property perfectly reflects the dazzling world Jackie brought to life in her novels. Marble pools, glass walls, art galleries, and a breathtaking panoramic view of Los Angeles. For decades, this was where she wrote best-selling books, hosted movie stars, and threw legendary parties attended by icons like Elton John, Joan Collins, and Michael Caine. Every room felt like a film set, a golden shelved office, a closet filled with haute couture, a 100-seat private theater, and a grand living room illuminated by a massive crystal chandelier that seemed to shine as brightly as her success. After her passing in 2015, the mansion fell silent. It was sold for about $21 million, later restored, and resold for nearly $60 million. Yet for many fans, the house still holds whispers of a golden Hollywood era, a time when Jackie Collins turned luxury, desire, and power into art, inside the very walls of her literary empire. Nicolas Cage's haunted mansion in New Orleans. At 1140 Royal Street, in the heart of the French Quarter of New Orleans, stands one of America's most infamous homes, the LaLaurie Mansion. It's a place where history, mystery, and celebrity collide. Originally built in the 1830s, the home became known for its dark past after a fire exposed hidden rooms that revealed disturbing secrets from centuries ago. In 2007, actor Nicolas Cage, fascinated by haunted properties and the mystical culture of New Orleans, bought the mansion for around $3.4 million. But just 3 years later, he lost it to foreclosure, and it was sold at auction for about $2.3 million. The three-story property spans more than 10,000 square feet, with 8 bedrooms, massive parlors, a 2,000-bottle wine cellar, and a classic French facade that conceals its eerie history. Over the years, visitors and tour guides have shared spine-tingling accounts. Doors creaking open by themselves, flickering lights, and distant whispers that seem to come from nowhere. Locals claim that the mansion is still home to restless spirits from its past, making it one of New Orleans' most talked-about landmarks. Even today, many say the LaLaurie Mansion has an atmosphere you can feel the moment you step inside, a blend of beauty, tragedy, and timeless mystery. Mel Gibson's Costa Rica Paradise. Imagine a place so quiet that the only sound you hear is the ocean breeze. That's Playa Barragona, Mel Gibson's private tropical retreat on Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula. Spread across more than 400 acres of untouched jungle, this hidden paradise was once listed for nearly $30 million. Sitting on lush hilltops overlooking the Pacific Ocean, the property features 3 luxury villas. The main home, Casa Guanacaste, includes 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms, while the 2 smaller villas provide private escapes for guests. Each was built with local Costa Rican hardwood, Spanish and Italian tile, and sweeping verandas that open onto infinity pools surrounded by palm trees and tropical birds. One remarkable detail: one of the villas was actually rebuilt using pieces brought from Bali, giving it a serene, island-inspired design beneath the rainforest canopy. Though grand in every way, the estate was never meant for show. According to reports, Gibson discovered it while scouting locations for his 2006 film Apocalypto and saw it as the perfect escape from fame. Yet despite its beauty, the home remained on the market for years, perhaps because it was too quiet, too remote, or simply because peace that deep comes with its own kind of solitude. David Letterman's Montana Ranch. Deep in the mountains of Montana, surrounded by endless forests and crystal-clear lakes, lies one of the most private celebrity retreats in America, David Letterman's Ranch. Known for his sharp wit and decades hosting The Late Show, Letterman bought this vast property in the 1990s to live the complete opposite of the spotlight life: total silence and isolation. Stretching across more than 2,700 acres near the small town of Choteau, the ranch includes a log-and-stone main house, 6 guest cabins, and a renovated barn that now houses a collection of rare cars. There's also a private lake stocked with trout, winding hiking trails, and even a giant treehouse that's larger than most city apartments. The property is nearly self-sufficient, powered by solar energy and home to grazing cattle and bison. Few outsiders have ever seen the interior, but those who have described it as warm, rustic, and open to breathtaking views of the Montana wilderness. Locals say that at night, you hear nothing but the wind, the sound of pure isolation. Letterman spends long stretches there with his family, stepping away from fame to enjoy the peace he once only dreamed of. Number 6. Aaron Spelling's legendary The Manor. In the heart of Holmby Hills, Los Angeles, stands one of the largest private homes in America, the legendary Spelling Manor. Built by television producer Aaron Spelling and his wife Candy, it remains the ultimate symbol of Hollywood excess and grandeur. Covering an incredible 56,500 square feet of living space, the mansion includes 123 rooms, 14 bedrooms, 27 bathrooms, a private bowling alley, a movie theater, a beauty salon, a gift wrapping room, and even a barber shop, all on nearly 5 acres of land. Built in the late 1980s on the former estate of Bing Crosby, it was designed to resemble a French chateau, with Italian stone facades, double staircases, massive chandeliers, and endless hallways that feel more like a luxury hotel than a home. Over the years, it became a legend among aspiring Hollywood dreamers, a place where every switch had a story. But after Aaron's passing in 2006, stories began to circulate about sealed rooms, flickering lights, and the eerie silence that now fills the once bustling corridors. Despite several sales, some for over $100 million, the manor continues to fascinate visitors as both a monument to ambition and a haunting reminder of how even the grandest empires eventually grow quiet. Now you're about to discover Madonna's mansion, known as the Wonder of Hidden Hills. Imagine driving through a long path lined with olive trees until you reach Madonna's mansion in Hidden Hills. 3 acres of silence where once there were echoes of concerts, tours, and applause. Purchased in 2021 for around $19.3 million and sold just 2 years later for about $23 million. The 12,547 square foot, approximately 1,165 square meters, property with 9 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms looks at first glance like the ultimate symbol of Hollywood luxury. Inside, there's a glass-walled wine cellar, a music lounge, a home theater, a gym converted from the old barn, an infinity-edge pool, and even an orange-tinted basketball court. Every corner designed for spectacle, power, and control. But what truly stands out isn't the visible luxury, it's the feeling of what's not there. There's an unspoken energy, a subtle sense of empty luxury. The artist who revolutionized pop culture sought refuge here, only to leave soon after. It's mysterious. Madonna bought it, relisted it, and sold it quickly, as if even grandeur couldn't hold her in place. The 5-car garage and bright orange court make it seem like the stage became a home, yet something feels missing. Today, the massive windows that once reflected camera flashes now capture only quiet sunsets over the elite neighborhood. It feels like a modern castle that paid the price of fame. Flawless, glamorous, yet frozen in time. In every hallway linger memories of endless nights, and in every room, a whisper that stardom never retires. It just moves somewhere else. Number 4. Howard Hughes, the Desert Fortress. In the blazing desert near Palm Springs, California, stands the secluded residence of the visionary Howard Hughes, a rare combination of modern design and absolute isolation. Built in 1957 in the Araby Cove neighborhood, the home remained under his ownership until his death in 1976. Set into the mountainside, the multi-level house features glass walls overlooking the Coachella Valley, floating staircases, cascading decks, and a pool that seems suspended between sky and stone. Among its peculiar features was a floor-mounted light control system, created because of Hughes's well-known aversion to touch. Behind its glamour, however, hid deep solitude. Even surrounded by innovation, Hughes sought not only comfort, but invisibility, security, silence, and distance from the world. As the years passed, the mansion fell into neglect, described by visitors as empty and weathered before later restoration. Today, the property has been revived, but it still carries the legacy of a man who conquered the skies and Hollywood alike, and who, in the desert, tried to build his own version of freedom. A house of brilliance turned into a symbol of chosen isolation, where the glow of fame faded into the echo of silence. John Travolta, the Airport Mansion. In Ocala, Florida, there's a home that feels straight out of a movie, and fittingly, it belongs to a movie legend, John Travolta. Known as the Airport Mansion, it sits inside the exclusive Jumbo Lair Aviation Estates, a neighborhood where residents can literally land their planes in their backyards. A lifelong aviation enthusiast and licensed pilot, Travolta designed this dream property himself. 2 private runways and a hangar large enough to house his Boeing 707 and Gulfstream jets. The main residence blends luxury and practicality. Glass facades, bright interiors, and a mix of 80s futurism with resort-style comfort. Inside, there are 5 suites, a private movie theater, a game room, a streamlined pool shaped like a wing, and a tower lounge with panoramic views of the runway. But the story carries a poignant contrast, the home of a man who lives between the sky and solitude. After the loss of his wife, Kelly Preston, in 2020, Travolta spent long, quiet months here, often seen flying at dusk. Today, the mansion feels like both a triumph and a memorial, a private airport, and a sanctuary of memories. Number 2. The legendary mansion of Mike Tyson, the one that took him from the height of fame to the very depths of downfall. In Southington Township, Ohio, stands a mansion that once belonged to boxing legend Mike Tyson, a home built for a king that eventually fell into ruin. In 1989, Tyson purchased the 25,000 square foot, approximately 2,300 square meter estate at auction for around $300,000. It included an indoor pool, a full basketball court, massive garages, and even tiger enclosures where Tyson famously kept his exotic pets. Inside, chandeliers gleamed, marble floors shone, and the front gates proudly bore his name, as if welcoming visitors into an empire. But that empire soon collapsed. After legal troubles, fines, and financial loss, the mansion sat abandoned for years, windows open to the wind, grass overtaking the grounds, and the once lavish estate left to decay. In 2019, the property found a new life as the Living Word Sanctuary Church, with the pool transformed into a worship hall and the former tiger cages repurposed into community spaces. Locals say it once radiated opulence, but now it stands as a powerful reminder that fame and fortune can fade, but redemption can take unexpected forms. And 50 Cent's mansion, or rather, 50 Cent's palace. Imagine a mansion so massive it could pass for a luxury resort. That's 50 Cent's Connecticut Palace, not just a house, but a statement of ambition and extravagance. Purchased in 2003 for about $4.1 million and upgraded with over $6 million in custom features, the estate sprawls across 17 acres in Farmington, Connecticut. Inside, the amenities are staggering. A private movie theater, recording studio, indoor basketball court, indoor pool, countless game rooms, and even a private nightclub called Club TKO, complete with stage and dance floor. There's also a helipad and 7 kitchens spread across its many wings. Despite all the glamour, the house struggled to sell. Originally listed for $18.5 million in 2007, it finally sold in 2019 for just $2.9 million, an 84% drop in asking price. The reason? Maintenance costs were astronomical, estimated at $70,000 per month. The mansion that once symbolized victory eventually became a lesson in scale and reality, proof that even the biggest stars can't escape the weight of excess. These mansions all carry their own stories, some filled with glory, others with mystery or melancholy. Which one fascinated you the most? Leave your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this journey through Hollywood's forgotten luxury, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories like this. Thank you for watching. And remember, behind every mansion, there's always a story waiting to be told.